Hey guys, Kane here. Now I just want to make a quick video because a lot of you guys have been should answer as many things first. Like crazy. This may look like Inception right about now, but this is in actuality it's not. So basically for different what scene for age. So we'll see when my live stream is up. You'll see. All right, and when my live stream is over, you'll see this. So all that is done through scenes. So let me show you how to make a scene. So the first thing you want to do is down here, you want to go ahead and right click on one of the scenes and that will pop open the scene editor. So let me move this out of the way. So now you have your scene editor. This is where you will be doing all the scenes and adding in all the content that you want. So right now it's blank, there's nothing in here. The first thing you'll want to do is go down here to add. So let's say you want to add in your game footage and that's all you want to add. You go down, you go to game capture, and usually you can put it on auto detect. Auto detect will automatically detect, just as it says, most games. So you should just click on auto detect, whatever game you're playing, XSplit will pick it up and it will start, it will show you the game and then you can start recording. Let's say you want to add in your webcam as well. So down here you go to add, webcam capture card video devices. You're going to click on your webcam. So I have a Logitech HD Pro. Click on that and there I am. Here I am again, guys. So that is how you add in your webcam. Now you can go ahead and you can resize this. So if I want to make myself smaller, I can make myself smaller. I can move it around. You can do anything you want to do with that. So I'm going to move myself right here over here in the bottom right. So let's say you have someone made you an overlay, someone made you a nice graphic that you can put on your live stream, and you want to add that as well. So go down here to add again, add media file. So this is where you can add in all kind of media files. Sorry about the beep. Add in graphics, add in overlays, anything you have on your stream that you want to put in, you can add it here. So let me see, where is my overlay? I don't even know where it is. This is one of the overlays that I had made when I was doing a lot of Splatoon on YouTube. Now this information is old, so I don't use it anymore, but let's say I want to add this in here. So you see I can resize it, okay? And now, but oh, wait a minute, my camera is not in the right place now. So let's move that out of the way. These little check boxes down here, you can just simply click on that and it'll go out of the way. And now I can move my camera up a little bit and try to fit it into that little box there to make sure that it's in the right spot. So there we go. We're almost there. Almost there. There we go. Well, that's good enough, folks. So now when I'm live streaming, this is what you will see with this scene. You will see my overlay, you will see me in the bottom right, and then the game will be in the middle. Now with the game, you can also resize that. So if I get all this out of the way, now you just have this. So this is where the game, see this moving around? This is where the game will be. So I can resize this so that it fits in the little box on my overlay. Or if I don't have an overlay, let's say I'm just recording my game or just showing the game, I can just resize this to take up the full entire screen. So just drag it on out until the white box is covering the full screen. So now when you're playing a game, it will be full screen. It won't have any boxes to the side or anything like that. So if we go back to here again, you guys see me. This is a scene that we can save and it will always be there. We can easily click to it and click from it. Okay, so that is pretty simple. We're not gonna save this scene because we don't really need it. But again, if you want me to explain scenes again in more detail, I can, but it's pretty simple. Again, you go down here to add and you just add in what you want. You just drag it around so that it's in the layout that you want. All right, back on my desktop. So now you know about scenes with XSplit. What you want to do is your options. So when you go over here, let's put the screen back so you guys can see. When you go over here, you're going to want to click on broadcast. This is going to show you options for streaming on Twitch, streaming on YouTube, and also just doing local recordings. So this is how you configure all of that over here where it says broadcast. Now, what you want to do is to configure a live stream. There will be an option that says add live stream or something like that. It says something about adding your channel. Yeah, adding a channel. You want to add a channel. The channel is either going to be Twitch or YouTube Live. So I have both set up, even though I normally stream on YouTube nowadays, but I did have Twitch set up in the past because that is where I was. But for YouTube, let's click on the YouTube settings and see what we have here. Okay, so I'm gonna click on the settings gear by YouTube, and it pops up this little box over here. Sorry about all these beeps, I know that's annoying. It pops up this little box here. So these are the main settings that you're going to be looking at when you're streaming on YouTube. Now, a lot of this probably does not make sense at all. You know, what codec do we use, the bit rate, the mode, you know, what's all this information talking about? I have no idea. It's probably what you're saying, but you're going to know because I'm going to show you. So let's hop over to our browser really quickly, and we're gonna type in YouTube streaming settings right here. YouTube streaming settings. Type that into your browser, your search engine, Google. And the first thing that should pop up is live encoder settings, bitrate, resolution. Click on that, and that takes you to this wonderful page which gives you all the information you need to put into XSplit. So here's a rule of thumb. Here's what I recommend. If you're going to be doing live streaming, I recommend you stream at 720p 60 frames per second. You may be asking why. Because, okay, so first of all, streaming at 720p 60 frames per second, that looks great, and that will also allow a majority of people watching your streams to actually be able to watch it without buffering a lot. So if you stream at a higher quality, you need a higher bit rate. Bit rate is basically the quality and the download rate of your video. So let's say you have a 10 upload. Okay, if you have 10 upload, and let's say you set your bit rate to 10 because you want to use all your upload for whatever reason, that means that the person watching your stream has to have 10 download reliably to be able to watch your stream. Now, not everyone has fast internet, and not everyone even has a computer that can watch 1080p without, you know, freezing. Some people are using older laptops, some people are on their phones that don't have access to 1080p, you know, older phones. So to make everything enjoyable and viewable for people, I use 720p at 60 frames per second, because one, I can stream at a lower bit rate, which means that the person watching it won't have to download as much information without buffering, and two, 60 frames per second makes it look great, and the 720p allows pretty much anyone the ability to watch it. A lot of phones as well are moving up to the 60 frames per second. YouTube put out an update for their app, so a lot of phones. Let's click on the settings. So here you will see the settings that you want to put in if you want to stream at 720p 60 frames per second. So it says recommended 3800 kbps. Okay, so that is the bit rate that you want to put into XSplit on that screen that I just showed you. So let's hop back over to this screen. So here we have this screen. Okay, so for the encoder, we're going to use X264. Okay, and we're also going to use for the bit rate 3800, because that is what it recommends. You can put it higher, you can put it lower, but just putting that the recommended is great. Now, so one of the I may have mentioned this before, the reason why I use XSplit is because it's paid, first of all, so they're always updating it with new features and different things that will allow you to stream better and also allow you to record your videos better. So one thing that they added, it means, let's say you're streaming and everything is going fine, CBR, great, your connection cannot keep your stream, will start lagging. There is whatever upload, you won't have frames split right around you. Adaptive CBR set. Let's click on the gear here, and you can see where you can activate adaptive CBR. So you just click on the little checkbox there, you can have that set. You don't really want to mess around with any of these other things because they're set at an optimal level. With this, don't really mess around with it, because that can really mess up your quality of your stream. It can put a stress on your CPU if you set it for the wrong thing. The default is very fast. All this is, what this is saying is how fast is your CPU. Okay, but it's in reverse. So think about it like this: if you set it for ultra fast, that means you have a very slow computer. Okay, and you need the encoder to work fast so that your CPU won't be stressed out. Okay, but if you have a really super beefy computer, you can set the encoder to slow. So that means that the encoder will work slower using more of your CPU, but because it's working slower, quote unquote, the quality is going to be much higher. Okay, because the quality is much higher, that puts more stress on your CPU. So again, it's kind of reverse. If you have a very slow computer, you can set this to ultra fast. If you have a super fast computer, you can set it to slow. But the default is very fast, and it works perfectly. I don't see any reason for you. Settings are great, and we can actually start streaming. So we have the settings now. The settings are great, and we can actually start streaming right now because you've already linked your channel. Okay, so like I said before, you click on broadcast, and you'll see settings. You'll see options to link your channel. So you just log into your YouTube, and then you'll be able to link it up. We set our settings in here. Okay, so we have our bit rate, we have our codec, we have our mode. The audio, you want to have that set down here. I think it tells you what the audio, yeah, down here. Okay, so down here it tells you need to be at CBR. You see, that's why we're at CBR. It tells you need to have audio bit rate is 128. So if we go back here, you see the audio bit rate that I have is at 128. So that's where I got that from. So we have all the settings. We grabbed all the settings directly from YouTube. Okay, so now the next thing you want to do, like I said before, you want to make sure you're streaming at 720. So how do you make sure you're streaming at 720 and 60 frames per second? Again, we're in Inception here, but you want to go up to View, and then you'll see where it says resolution. Because I'm recording right now, I can't actually change it, but I can, if I wanted to, I can simply change this to 720p, and then for the frame rate, you can change that to 60. Because I'm just doing a regular video without gameplay footage, I have it set to 30 and in 1080p. If I were recording a game, I would have that set to 1080p at 60 frames per second. So that's where you change that, the resolution and the frame rate. Okay. Then once you have that set up, let's say you want to make your video now. So let's hop over to YouTube. Okay. And what I like to do, this is my YouTube main page here. What I like to do is you want to go over to click on the upper right here. You want to click on your Creator Studio. And then you want to click on where it says live streaming over here on the left. All right, so you have to have this enabled first of all. So if you don't have it enabled, you want to go over to your channel settings, okay? And then you should see something in here down at the bottom where it says live streaming. Make sure you have that enabled. You should have that option to you available. If you don't, then your channel is not eligible to live stream. And if you don't even see this page, that means that means you need to partner your channel with YouTube in order to have extra features. Okay, so again, we're gonna go over to live streaming, and then we're gonna go to events. Now you can do stream now if you have that option available. Stream now is pretty good if you just want to hop on really quickly. It just live stream at a drop of a dime, but at 7 p.m., which is what I usually do. I would just go to schedule a new event, and right here is where you can set the time. So today at 7 p.m. and we're just gonna call this test stream. All right. And then we're gonna make this private because I don't want it to be shown. So we're gonna have it set to private. Here's where you can set the description. You can set your keywords, whatever you want to have in there. You can go to your advanced settings. So here is something important here. So first of all, you want to have enable live chat clicked on so people can actually check. You want to have automatically block spam messages checked so that people aren't spamming in your channel, unless you want people to spam, but I don't see why you would want that. So make sure that is checked. You want to make sure you have down here at the bottom enable DVR, so that is going to automatically record your live stream so that it is uploaded to a video to your channel. Recording. You want to make sure you have recording set so that the video is uploaded maximum of 8 hours after the video is over. And DVR allows people that are watching to be able to seek back. So let's say you're live streaming, right? But people will have the opportunity to go back 4 hours. So if they missed the beginning of your stream, important right here, stream optimizations. You want to have this set, at least I think, you want to have this set for optimized for interaction. So that will decrease the delay in your stream so that when people say something in the chat, you have a better opportunity to respond to it. If perfect, there will increase the delay, I think, okay? On your channel now, if you have monetization set up on your channel, which means you're partnered with YouTube, you have your PayPal set up and all that, you can go to this tab and you can set what kind of ads you want to be shown in your live stream. Okay, so set that up if you want to. If you don't have to, whatever the case may be. After you're done with all these settings, click on create event. Okay, and that's going to create your event in a second. Okay, that's going to create your event. And now what you need to do, you can set your thumbnail. So just click on that and you click on browse and just add in any random picture that you want. I have a whole folder full of my my thumbnails and pictures that I save. So I have a thumbnail now. Okay, here is where you want to set your bit rate. Okay, so we're gonna click on that and you're gonna go to 720p, and then enable 60 frames per second. You want to click on that as well so that YouTube knows that you're going to be streaming at 720p 60 frames per second, so that people have that option when they're watching the stream. And that's all you really need to do. That's all you really need to do. So now let me show you how I have it set up when I'm actually live streaming. So I have the event set up. I can click on view on watch page. So now I'm at the watch page here. It says that the event will be starting in 5 hours. So what I usually do, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works for me. and my exact setup. So you want to make sure you have at least 2 monitors. That's the optimal setup. 2 monitors, because one of my monitors, this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so ignore the inception again. So I'm seeing, I have this window here, okay, which is showing me what I'm seeing, which is showing me recording my game and live streaming the game. And then in the background, I have the video playing. Make sure you mute the video. You want to mute the video because otherwise you'll have an echo. I'm seeing this window plus the video in the background. And then I see you guys is chatting over here. So I can quickly look over and see what is going on in my chat at all times. Let me put my video back on. So yeah, so whenever you see me looking over like this, that's because I'm looking at my other monitor and I'm seeing what you guys are saying in the chat because I have it set up. This exact layout is what I'm looking at on my other monitor, and the monitor in front of me is the game. So that's why it's important to at least have 2 monitors. If you don't have that set up, you can do it with 1 monitor, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot harder to do, to keep track of everything and then keep track of your live stream, keep track of people chatting, and keep track of nothing wrong reason. It's going to be really hard to keep track of all this, guys. That is pretty much, and I'll put a feature really split. If really if you have, there won't be any issue. And if you configure it correctly, it will be just fine. There won't be any issue with you using OBS. So that it will be just you. And plus, have a free version streaming or recording video. Fine. Again, monitor, 4th background, and you can. One other thing like that in here, guys. When you are streaming or recording, doing anything like that, you want to make sure that you do not have tons of different things running in the background, because that's going to slow down your computer. That's going to eat up your RAM that's available. If you have extra streams, be an AC, that's always there. Printer background, I don't know. Server goes down 6% of my memory. Recording and you're having down. Let me know in the comments if there is anything that I need to cover